that button. Here we are. Right, I should be audible. I should turn the microphone up very slightly. Probably about there is sensible. No, maybe a bit below that.
Wow.
Let's stick somewhere around that point and see if anyone whinges. Not that I can see them whinging, because I have far too many other things going on. Right. Welcome back. If we're really lucky, I can remember what's going on.
Simon says, effort, please wait screen Brioso.
Well, I needed something to put on the for it to say when there wasn't actually anything, when the application wasn't running. Because Verity, hello CK2, I'm sure you can do this if you try hard enough. Okay, maybe it's unhappy.
Can you click on single parent?
Yes. Okay, I think I've broken CK2. That's going to be fun.
Quite impressive. I'm going to I've imagined everything more.
I apologise for the very loud background hum. That's probably my laptop's fan.
That's what it's tumbled by because...
Yes, I could close the door to the kitchen, I suppose. Happily no one can see all my faffing around on the desktop here because of reasons. Namely that because my desktop is Wayland rather than native X, the capture the entire desktop. That's better. Ooh, I've got the sound turned on. Let's fix that. Off. Thank you.
Does CK2 have sound?
Yes.
Well, I turned mine off very early on account of the fact that
anyway,
playing the ambient music and just right off pretty much.
So yes, so I have to do this using single window capture rather than desktop capture, which means you don't get autoception when it starts up, or Heartland Point Lighthouse-ception, and instead you get a completely black screen, and I thought having something on the screen would be an improvement. So what on earth is going on? Because I only do this like once a month and come back and...
next to a different shade of pale.
Yes.
You're not currently at war with anyone.
So yes.
There's that shieldy icon that's usually interesting, but I can't remember what it is. Oh yes.
Yeah, so I could create duchies, but because I'm a duke with Gavelkind, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
My sons are unlanded, but meh, they will become landed. I don't really see that that's a serious problem. There's some random bloke I can imprison. I'll perhaps check why. I have a bunch of odd claims, but like last I looked, that really wasn't a helpful state of affairs anyway. So yes, because I only have 1,300 odd troops, which rather limits what I can do, because like Abyssinia has 2,000, and the more serious neighbours have 8,000, and they're not even the most serious neighbours, I don't think. Well, maybe they are at the moment, actually. Yes. But what I do have... Yes, that's what I'd achieved just before the end of the last game, isn't it? What I had achieved...
Alliance with Egypt?
Is an alliance with the King of Egypt, who has 19,000 troops.
Simon said about clicking the microphone being up too high.
Okay, I'll turn the mic down a bit, if I can work out how.
If it's laptop fan, Simon, then we can do nothing about it, because mysteriously
something... I'm slightly surprised that 0 decibels isn't the correct, like, peak level, but let's turn this down so that I'm peaking at about minus 28, and see if that sounds any better. Right, where's CK2 gone?
I think decibels very confusing.
Right. So the interesting thing is thus that if I can drag Egypt into a war, I can get away with quite a big one.
However, as we know, allies, they're a pain in the arse.
Especially the YMCA.
So, I mean, the cheap thing... Yeah, so I don't have a claim on the entire kingdom of... thing, plus, Abyssinia, plus I have a truce with him.
What about Yemen?
So the Hashimid Sultanate, which occupies all of that area, I think I have quite an interesting claim on, in that, which one is it?
Holy War for that bit.
No, I think possibly for that bit. I think actually it turns out not to matter much. Or Sana'a. Each of those is, I think,
Part of the Decoration of Yemen.
is, so I think actually it's Sana'a I want, which is 3 counties in the Dejure Kingdom of Yemen, and the entertaining feature is that who is the king of Yemen? Oh, Sultanate of Yemen, is that Yemen has 11 counties, of which I control, yes, of which I control 3. Mm-hmm. If I take another 3, I therefore control 6 out of 11, which is enough to usurp the kingdom.
Yeah. Then you can create duchies
and then, rather annoyingly, I have usurped the kingdom that isn't the one that I have an ambition to become king of.
Wow.
But so that seems like it's a bit brave. They've got a phenomenal number of troops. I am hugely dependent on Egypt coming to my aid. I'm dependent on Egypt coming to my aid in a holy war that is strictly for a religion that isn't Egypt's religion. But it's the same religious group as Egypt, a different religious group from the Hashimid Sultanate. In that we are both Christians, and the Sultanate is Muslim. So it ought to work. So let's see if I choose Holy War for Sana'a. So the Kingdom of Egypt does appear in my list of allies who would join on my side. Along with, slightly surprisingly, a Muslim sheikhdom. So, I mean, I think I really feel I have to try this. It'll probably be a disaster, but...
Yes, I think it's worth a go.
But you mentioned washers. Are you looking for washers?
If there weren't any in that box, there probably aren't any of quite the right size. An M3 washer might do, and I might have some M3. Oh no, that was M3. Yeah, M4 might do, but they might be a bit big.
Okay.
Or, find a bit of sheet steel and draw some holes in it. There's a small piece of sheet steel somewhere in the left-hand cupboard of the workbench. It's about 10 centimetres square. Because I needed a small piece of sheet steel for something. And what I needed was a piece of sheet steel about 3 centimetres square. But
according to this maps that I accidentally pressed on the house, I thought you were at the end of each other and they would be a mushroom.
That's very odd. Right, okay, so Holy War for Sana'a, I'm sure this will be fine.
Especially some synchronization and maybe.
So that now only gives me two allies I can call in. Which is fine, because one of them's Egypt.
Right, good.
Who, yes, will probably join because he's allied. And one of them is the Count of Ahab, who has relatively few troops. Well, let's try calling in Egypt first and see what happens. Yes, I am indeed.
Emails.
I'm just trying to work out what's going on. Because there's the County Reid Emirate, who are also opposed to me. Rather curious, even though they're part of the... Why are they ill-disposed towards me then? He's attacking... Oh, right, yes. He is somehow on the defending side. Oh, right, yes, he is a vassal of the Hashimid Sultanate, right.
Yeah, I was going to say it's often to do with vassalisation.
Still, right, so I probably want to now start trying to organise my troops. Camel!
Alright, we've got a camel.
Camel.
Oh, that's quite a detailed camel model.
Yes, I've not got many camels. I think my levies may be a little depleted. Yeah, a bit. Oh well, I'm not relying on my troops. I'm relying on Egypt's troops. And let's also raise vassal levies, which will be even fewer. Right, that looks like... Oops. So I will start here because the guy from the Hashimid Sultanate is actually moving into that county. Okay, well let's just dismiss those then, because they're just going to have an embarrassing time. And get everyone else back into Ankoba, which is mountainous and has lots of people in it. And allow some time to pass. And then see if we actually get a reply. All we've got is marriage proposal, right. Who is he? He is the heir to the county of Nobatia. She is the Countess of Nobatia, which is independent. I currently already have an alliance with Nobatia. Why do I have an alliance with Nobatia? It's not through that, because he's not one of ours. Okay, I'm not sure why I have an alliance with them, so it's kind of tempting to keep the...
Be able to check by looking in your packs then.
Ah, right, does that tell me... Oh yes, is there something in there that tells me what? Betrothal between KK... Oh right, it is actually... Those two are now of age, and therefore she's suggesting that they get married, and it's their betrothal that's holding that alliance together, right.
Right, so yes, you do want to...
I absolutely want to keep that alliance. I want to keep all my alliances, please.
That's not to let them get married.
Yes. Oops.
When I finish my water.
Right. We now have Egypt on our side. That army, that lot have now decided they're going to Asaita. No, they're going to Tanjura. That lot have decided they're going to Asaita. Right. In that case, I should disband that army as well. That lot should probably, at the very least, regroup in a single county. So, Egypt has said yes, has not yet actually done anything. Aha! Well, I mean, when a 13,000 strong army suddenly pops up in Egypt, that's quite nice. Is Egypt currently at war with anyone else? No, excellent. they're in trouble now. They're not going to be enough to survive either, so I think we have to keep disbanding armies that are anywhere near the enemy until such time as a decent sized Egyptian force makes it down here. And we may even have to dismiss this lot if they look like bringing all of those armies into Ankoba. My hope is that most of them have other wars to be getting on with. Oh dear, we might have a revolt on our hands in Godjam soon.
Your war is important to us. You are second in our queue.
Yes, because they're actually busy having a war with Abyssinia at the moment. So I think Egypt is coming down the other side of the Red Sea. Yes, I've lost my court chaplain. Oh, let's point him, he's tolerable. Maybe he can try to fix the situation in Godjam. Right.
Don't forget you have tea.
Yes. Okay, is that as balanced as it can get? I think I would prefer to have the centre over strength. Actually, let's make that Yazid and that Kiflay. And I don't currently have a an organiser, so let's wait for things to settle a bit. Still marching around across my nice plain, which I don't really want to be going across now. I might run into an army twice my size, but the plan, the hope is that they're not actually currently trying to occupy me, they're doing something else. Hey, Egypt, that's not a sensible place to be just standing around. I think I might call my other ally in, just for...
encouraging them to do something.
Well, because if they at least send 1,000 troops down to say hello to me, from wherever the hell they are, that might give me slightly more to play with. Right, okay. So he's raised 1,500 troops. And to stick to moving around in mountains in the hopes that the other side of the wall has gained someone fairly unexciting. So that's alright. I'm moving my troops north while staying inside the mountains in the hopes of meeting up with the okay, the Count of I tab is now available. Let's see.
Don't ask for another batch.
Yeah, I mean, if you do ask, you will get an opinion penalty, but well, if you get, I think you get an opinion penalty. Right, yes, and they're now besieging Zabid, which is kind of awkward. Right, and that's another bunch of troops. Let's go up to that edge of the desert so that I can meet up with my allies. So that lot appear to be heading north. And Egypt are heading south now, it looks like. We've lost Zabid, that's fine. We're still waiting to get all of our armies vaguely together. You're heading from Masawa, are you? Well, I think if you're going to do that, I kind of want to be there as well. So you're going to be there on the 18th of November. Masawa is mountains, where we can probably win if we join forces. So that gets me there on... after the... That gets me there on the 9th of November, and you're getting there on the 30th of October. Oh well, that'll probably do. I mean, I think this is slightly foolish, but I think we can win if we're both there.
Yes.
Hang on. Damn it. Well, now, I was confused about movement locked Furza's arrival date. I'm going to arrive there first. Oh well. This may not end well. Because they're going to hurt me quite a lot before my allies turn up.
Sorry, I'm going to fidget. I'm trying not to turn the TV off. I need to take my clothes and then you can just start my rock. Like some kind of starting mystery.
Okay, I don't have a useful...
Starting mystery.
Marshal. Let's put the new Marshal in.
I can close the back door.
You could close the back door, which is definitely past scribble clock. I didn't notice there was a step change in the ones.
Happy to go out in the minor drizzle?
No.
Right, so that was a lovely battle, but of no value at all, because the person we were fighting isn't actually someone we want to defeat.
It just happens to be in the way.
Yes. And this is a not completely unreasonable place to besiege. So I think we sit there and besiege it, because it is the correct enemy. It's mountainous, doesn't involve going near the enemies, any enemy armies that might cause trouble. But ultimately the target has to be to get across the Strait of Mandeb into I think for now we're alright, and I could do with he dislikes me quite a lot already. And we can sit down here and besiege a few things while the Egyptian army turns up.
Hey. I assume besieging stuff on the other side of the of the sea is a bad idea because
Well, I can't get there, because that lot are parked in the way.
yes.
Actually, they're not anymore. Now they're moving. They're coming across to this side of the Red Sea. But that should be okay, because Egypt should have met me by the time we can
Of course, that's the Red Sea. It's smooth.
do anything. And like, there's a random rebel army and Egypt is gratuitously marching through them. But I'm not going to move because Egypt can take that rebel army.
Oh yes, crazies.
My wife died in a dungeon, in my own dungeons. All right, I probably had a good reason for putting her there. I think she was trying to kill me. Right. Well, let's find a useful wife then. We're already fairly well endowed with children.
Of course, the downside of Gavelkind is that some of those ally ships won't last because they won't be with someone close enough to you when you're the next one.
Yes. So I can have someone with spectacular diplomacy or someone with middling martial. Kind of inclined to go for the spectacular diplomacy. Plus, we might get some more children, though that's probably unhelpful. But it's not. It means I can marry more of them off. Yeah. Right. It's about time to pass again.
It's not really at all, actually. The guy I imagine it was from the trees, so we should have won.
Okay, well I'm still probably through taking it.
Right, all rebels have been rapidly slaughtered by the Egyptians. And my new wife has arrived. Okay, let's have a look at how that holy war is going as far as people are concerned. that's our side, isn't it? Those are the ones we need to worry about. So there's someone with 3,000 and someone with 1,500. Don't think that means we need to invite any more allies in yet.
I don't think I've had that one.
What is love? Today is the day. Well, I've been married for quite a long time. The one I've been dreading, while I've kept my appearances up throughout the ceremony, paralysing doubt is gnawing at my soul. My new wife, Aigidia, is certainly a good match. But is that all there is to it? I know people like us never marry for love, but why does the priest talk of such things? I fear dying without ever having known true love. During the following wedding feast, I feel as if I'm moving through thick fog, mechanically repeating the motions just as I have been taught. That is, until I see her pealing laughter and radiating smile breaks through the numbness like Cupid's arrow lodging itself deep in my heart. Is she the answer to my prayers?
Is she? Okay, that's fine.
That's not about my wife. No. While taking a break from dancing, I received the opportunity to converse with Lady Mandera. I am not disappointed. Her wit, her beauty, her charm. I do not want the moment to end, but her husband, Count Emmanuel, is approaching. So, my options are, may I have the honour of this dance? My opinion of Mandera increases by 15 for 12 months. Queen Aigidia's opinion decreases by 15 for 24 months because I'm inattentive towards her. Or I better leave. Aigidia is looking displeased. I think I will leave because Aigidia is looking displeased. Right, where are you going? Are you coming down to meet me? Excellent. Because we've got this siege to finish.
And it will go much faster if you can throw the mic.
Tonight I visited my Mandera in my dreams. When I woke up I could still hear her velvet voice echo in my ears and feel the comforting weight of her hand in mine. Oh graceful angel, most brave mystic, my heart aches for you. So do I find her before she leaves or become stressed and possibly chaste?
Oh dear.
No, I must find her before she leaves.
Do I have time to go to the loo before we get off Stoic State?
Yes.
Okay.
By the grace of God, Mandera has not left yet. I found her in the garden taking a stroll. She let me join her and soon our conversation flowed as easy and pleasant as a leisurely summer's day. In the end I had to profess my love. She rejected me most virtuously, but I could tell she was moved by my words. I will give her time. Anyway, some events have been happening while I've been distracted, but the Emir of Dunashk. Okay, that's just about enough that I should call in my other ally. Revolt has broken out in Gojam. Peasants have taken to arms. Well, that's nice. So I think, yes, we should get another batch of troops coming down to join us. What? You've just hurled 280 troops at us. That's just going to be embarrassing for you.
Right, let's go for a straight round the block before all this courtly love makes me remember why I was so irritated by reading stuff from...
Don't think it qualifies as courtly love when it's the king doing it.
It is courtly love.
Isn't that like, you know...
Didn't she marry Quebec?
I mean,
Right.
typically it's a knight of the queen, but...
Yes, precisely.
You have to have the king there, if only so that he can be cuckolded, or in this case, cat, whatever his face is.
Well, we may as well finish besieging this now. Yes, everyone's going out now, so I can't read Ahasi at all, and I'm just going to witter to myself and who knows what else is going on.
To go, oh my god, are you still having your failed state?
It's probably started drizzling and the time she was in blue and therefore it'll take about 2 seconds anyway. You can ramble here, you talk to them.
Well, yes. Okay, apparently one of my eyes is buggering off. Oh no, yes. Why are we over the supply limit here? We're close to it.
Right, it's now drizzling slightly, so
It's raining properly.
Well, let's finish off this siege. And then go next door and kick the enemy in Assad.
State.
Yes, you're state, well stated.
State. I have to finish my water, because water is important. And I should go, where did I even eat it? And I think the answer is in my room.
Right, so now I think we should head down there
Right.
and give them a quick beating.
Oh, wait, that's actually the actual enemy, isn't it?
Yes.
Brilliant.
My allies appear to be being slightly weird, but not in a very
This
bad
is the
way.
of the ally.
Yes.
You always knew it was a risk.
Well, yes, but I am taking on someone like 7 times my size.
It's only a scratch, honest.
So Ankoba now has a militia training ground. So we can improve its fortifications. We can improve its keep, which gives us more people. Well, the fortifications are quite cheap, so let's get them. Oh yes, some random rebels besieging Kodjam, aren't they? I should probably take advantage of having a convenient army here to go and give them a rapid thrashing. Once we've regained control of this. Even though strictly that isn't their job. I must send Mandera something to assure her of my ardent feelings. I have understood that a lady such as she appreciates having poems delivered to them. However, a fine fur never disappointed anyone either. I could try writing her a poem, which might make me stressed and might make me a poet, presumably depending on how the poem turns out. I can spend 34.5 gold on sending her a present, or I can do nothing at all and she will dislike me for it. And she really isn't much of a fan of me. Let's try writing a poem. I laboured through the evening and well into the night. However, it did pay off. The poem became even better than I could have hoped for. If anyone reads this, they will surely know whom it describes, even though I never mentioned Mandera's name. Well, that's going to be great if someone intercepts it then, isn't it? But I'm now a poet, which gives me +1 diplomacy and makes other poets like me. So what's the text situation in my capital then? Yeah, not anything very exciting, is it? Anyway, right. So that looks like we're going to run into the Mercurian and Kaibar armies, neither of which I actually care about. So I think we redirect ourselves to Kojan via Antolo instead. Meanwhile, over here one of my allies is happily besieging things, which is nice. Oh goodness, I've got a dangerous faction again. But I'm trying to fix Asaita. You comprehensively like me. Oh well, I will continue trying to fix you, because apparently I was already doing that. Now, I'm not quite sure who's going to end up in this battle. It might be that all my allies just stand around and watch. No, apparently we all took them on. Right, my dearest Lord Mašanñal, I was deeply moved by your most beautiful verse. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have proven to be a most noble soul. I dearly hope you will continue to bless me with your correspondence. Your faithful friend, Mandera. So there.
I hope you will.
Continue to bless her with my correspondence.
I hope confuse me less with you. Okay.
Right, that's the rebels dealt with. Now let us head over to Aden or possibly Zabid, depending on how things go. So Man is on the other side in this war. So if we run into them, that's probably good. Now, I can actually imprison the husband of my of Countess Mandera, who is not my lover, incidentally. She's merely someone I write to occasionally. But maybe I shouldn't. Right. Ooh.
says, I'm very suspicious of Mandela. I think she's using him in some way, possibly reselling his poetry.
That's, yes, okay, maybe she's reselling my poetry, I don't know. Right, so this is someone wanting to marry my niece. Don't think nieces are particularly useful. So, yeah, go on. That's just that faction becoming slightly more powerful again, yes. So yes, curiously the Egyptians have most of the contributions to this. Looks like the enemy is managing to get out of the way. Actually, I think I should go and give them another thrashing in Assad, since they're there. Castle fortifications have been built in Ankoba, so I should set that doing something else. Let's build a new keep, a better keep there as well. Yes, I can afford that. I think he keeps flapping to one side or the other of being a dangerous faction leader. This is quite some battle. Bringing in reinforcements, but we've won the battle before they brought in their reinforcements. He's going to have a river crossing penalty, so this should be another... What? Oh, no, that's fine. Where are you going? I was hoping you'd join me here. Oops. Wrong button. That one does have someone we want in it, so now let's head down to Tajura and help out. Received an invitation from Mandela's husband, Count Emmanuel. He is arranging a yearly hunting trip at his estate and would like for me to join them. Mandela will surely be there. Yes, I'm highly suspicious. I'd better decline. Okay, I think we lost that battle. But like, we need to get through Tajura anyway. So I don't know if the Battle of Tajura actually gained us anything, because it was mostly against people who aren't actually relevant. That lot are already fleeing, so I think we can go straight over into Zabid and start getting our territory back. Once upon a dream, you walked here together in this garden mere months ago, laughing at each other's quick remarks, stealing short glances. It seems like an altogether different life. Now it's over, and it will never be the same again. Maybe being alone isn't so bad. It gives you plenty of time to hone your skills and build your way on. No distractions, no limitations. What could be more important than that, after all? Yet, I cannot stop thinking of her. King Mašanñal the Bewitched gains the trait depressed. Oh yes, I was actually checking what state the war was in particular, going, how much of it is losing control of Zabid versus how much of it is not yet controlling Sanaa? And the answer is, I think I should get Zabid back first. So let us stomp over there and do that. Yes, I'm sure that's a symptom of illness. Like someone stabbed him in the head. Right, so now we will besiege back our own territory a bit. And then take on Sanaa itself. Where are you going? You're heading into Sanaa. You'll be there very shortly. And you're the army of Man and Tabuk, who are indeed two of the other side in the thing. What are you doing kicking around down there and about to get thrashed, you fools? They're heading out into Taiz. Excellent. They're going down to Aden. Probably, yes. Well, if they're trying to join those two armies up, how long is that going to take? So that's going to take like a month and a half. That lot will probably make it to Aden within that time, except they're crossing over into Tajura. Well, I think in that case, I don't know, do I go and give them a quick thrashing in Tajura to keep them ill? Because Tajura is nice and flat. So if I were to switch to going over to Tajura, I would get the straight crossing penalty because I'd arrive second, but I would get to fight them, which would make it less likely that they would cause me any more trouble. Yeah, I think we stick to battles while we conveniently can. Ooh, on Count of CK2, excellent. Kind of tempted to move my capital there. Let's not worry about it right now. So this is... Oh, I should have done what I know I can't. I could probably have done what I advised Verity to do last time and left a small army behind to hold the siege. Because now I have to start besieging it from scratch again. I presume I can't currently move my capital to CK2 because I'm currently at war. Yes. Maybe I actually kill two birds with one stone and stomp off to Sanaa. Especially if that lot are going to be trying to come back. Let's get this army broken before they get there. No, not that. So then we could actually like besiege the right place. Plus there's another army coming to attack me. So yes, the awkward thing is that my wife intensely dislikes me and will dislike me even although I could in theory become secretly orthodox. Well, I can ask her to convert, but she won't without a really quite substantial positive opinion of me, and I can only give her 34 opinion by throwing money at her, which won't be enough. the slightly older supply limit in this county, which is a bit unfortunate, but not by enough to be a serious problem. I think we're getting people fed up because I'm hoarding too many titles. So let's hand over Ankoba to one of my more competent sons. He's got Marshal of 3, got Marshal of 13. Yeah, have the County of Ankoba. That then puts me under my unit, since he keeps being a nuisance. Let's grant him honorary title of Master of the Hunt. So, let's see. That siege is almost over, which should then do something fairly good for my war score. Yes. Well, we no longer have this whopping great penalty for the enemy controlling all of their territory. So that siege won't actually take that long. My allies are making complete fools of themselves over there. Not all of them are. See, they're doing something useful. Right, that may be a problem. Caliph of the Umayyad Empire has just joined the war.
Got tea then.
Thank you. So he would take white peace if I wanted to, but I think we should carry on. We have quite enough strength there, but there's like this danger that the Umayyads will send something terrifying down. I want to get all the war score I can before that happens. So let's just look. So that occupation of those things is getting me like 10% each. that looks like it's worth staying up here rather than trying to get my own territory back. Well, that means not much, but it's better than nothing. Disappointed in my friend, he did not send any troops to help. Let's check. Oh, that is all still going as we expect, though. Not necessarily very helpfully. That person heading into Zabid, worth giving them a quick kicking since we're in between sieges here. I think it is. At least I've now slowed them down because they're now going round. So, yes. Yeah, I won't go and try to stop them again because this siege is now actually properly underway. go after the slightly softer one of those. There's a small Umayyad army turning up. Mašanñal, one of my courtiers, is such a gracious host. Since some time now he has become famous throughout the realm for his jovial and welcoming nature as well as the exquisite food. My opinion of him improves. Right, that's nice. Take more while to besiege that. I think I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait until I've got the first holding here and then I go next door and kick them out. While paying quite close attention to that army. It's heading back to Zabid. Because if they're coming up to Sana'a, they might be quite hard to get out. Like, this lot are few enough that I can get them in. The thing is that my part of this army is Taboo. Well, that's quite helpful, isn't it? Because of course I inherited that place. So I can't split off my part of this army and expect to take them. So essentially, if I'm going that way, what happens if I split off half of that, select half of it, and ask them to go that way? Excellent, right, okay, let's do that then. Excellent. This is a bit dangerous because that lot are also coming into Sana'a and they'll probably get the defensive advantage. Do I give up on this now? No, let's be brave because frankly if I lose Sana'a I'm doomed anyway. And let's pile that lot in there. No. Actually, that's probably the fastest route. I'm not sure this is going to go well for me. Indeed, not sure is putting it mildly, but it's a good start. And I've got reinforcements coming. Oh, have I? I should have a look at that. Oh right, we have oh yes, I ended up with elective succession, didn't I? That's a fun thing. But, that was a nice little battle. Really, you're not winning the war. I mean, you might, if you hang on long enough, win it, but that's not quite the same thing. Right, let's get back and pick that siege up. Ah, that technique didn't work, right. Oh, I just fixed him. He's not a heretic anymore. Oh, but no. Okay, that's just embarrassing. He won't convert at the moment because he doesn't much like me. That would increase him by 34, which would be enough to make him convert because he's unlanded. Right, let us convert my court chaplain to a sensible religion. Right, we'll give birth under auspicious stars. Right, so back over there. Try to get some more war score. Right, that's a bit worrying. Because that's like rather more Umayyad troops than I would like. There's a bunch of vassal troops while everything's quiet. Let's slurp those up. Oh, Stoats, I should have paused that. Well, that seems a sensible thing to do, really. So, where are you going? We're heading for Tajura, which would be slightly unfortunate. So let's gather everyone else in Asaita. At least for now. No. Send that lot over there. They're heading over to Zabid, which is fine. Right, that's kind of going to go badly for me. Let's disband everything we can. He still believes he's winning the war. I think we'll sort that. Because right now what I want is to get war score, what remaining war score I can, as fast as possible. So ideally I want to get some war score before that army finds me. Yes, but does she still hate me? Less than she did. If I send her a gift, she'll gain 34, which will be enough that she might convert. Let's just check that conversion would actually happen. Yes, I think it would. So, send my wife a 15 gold gift. Demand conversion. Yes, excellent. Right. That should improve matters. Alright, he's going to besiege that, is he? Well, maybe we stand a chance then. Maybe we don't. Okay, well this is the point at which it either all goes wrong or it doesn't. I think I try desperately to find some decent commanders. There's Eden Keyflower already here. Right. Because the Umayyad Empire is about to come and cause trouble. And I don't think I can avoid this battle. This is mountains, isn't it? Yes, we're in mountains, so we have a hefty defensive advantage. We have our best people. We are hugely outnumbered. And basically, if I win this battle, I can win the war, and if I don't win this battle, then I probably immediately sue for white peace. We have 3 narrow flanks. So far this is not looking good though, but maybe if we can engage them hand to hand, things get better, yes. Well, slightly better. No, well, I mean, I can read the Monophysite Bible. Because paranoia is probably not actually good. But we won that battle. So I think this war is still winnable. Still not going to accept it. He's still not going to... A small kitty is demanding my attention. So I pat the kitty and have a chance to become kind. Allow the kitty to follow me home, getting me a pet cat. Or kick the kitty with a 25% chance of becoming maimed. Well... I think I will go for patting it and becoming kind. Because it is nice to treat cats nicely. Well, I will not become monophysite. I will become more convinced in my monophysite beliefs. Right, so I think now we may actually stand a chance in this war. Well, we do still have some problems. Still, while there are not so many enemy armies around, let's just scrape up a few more troops and bring them over here. No, not there actually, you stoat. Right, your wife Agilia has asked me to convince her of the position of Chancellor. Well, so she does have a truly stunning amount of ability, so yes. Go on, you can be my Chancellor. What should you be doing? You should probably be improving diplomatic relations with the former Chancellor. I was just going, hang on, that's not the correct route. You should go to there, and there, and there. Bypassing Sanal, because going into Sanal would be silly. Meanwhile, we are continuing to besiege Najran. I think I just proposed that from my side. Oh, where are you going? You're going over there. Well, a bunch of my armies are currently trying to go. Okay. Let's have them hold in Zabit then. For now. And I might feel brave enough to march my lot in to Sana'a. What's under my marshal? Oh dear. My marshal died succumbing to severe injuries. That's a pity. My next base marshal is not very good. Oh well. Set to auto assign commanders. Oh right, that's probably for the best. Well, I mean, I should see how terrible my commanders are getting. I think the fact that... no, it's not too bad actually. Because he's got a good reason for being there. Incidentally, he should be doing something again. Now will you surrender? They're not. They're really not. Okay, you found some friends. Pondering assaulting this in hope that will get me up to 100% or close war score, even if it causes me some losses. Let's breathe. Right. So half of the contribution goes to the King of Egypt, so I only get a small amount of piety and a small amount of prestige and a small amount of moral authority, but I vassalize lords of my religion and take all other titles in the Emirate of Sana'a. Splot. Right, so the war is over. We are in a delicate position, but might be alright for now. We can in particular disband most of our armies. And go, what the hell is going on now? Now I can usurp the Sultanate of Yemen. I am like the Count of Everywhere. Count of not just Gorjam and Zabid and Socotra, but also now Sana'a and Najran and Arakaf and various bishoprics and such like. And it does appear to be fairly late now. So let us at least get the troops dismissed and probably usurp that kingdom. So I no longer have any troops raised. He's grumpy because I fired him from the council and I have a scandalous councillor and I'm possessed. She is grumpy for most of the same reasons, plus she's a claimant to my title, plus I'm the wrong religion. And increasing her opinion by 38 would not be enough to allow me to sort out her religion. Her heir, though, is the correct religion, and she is ill. So possibly I just want to wait for Countess Habesha to die. And he will inherit all of her territory and be of the correct religion. There are actually a bunch of mercenaries around. I should remember that I have mercenaries available. So I almost certainly want to usurp the Sultanate of Yemen if I can. I've got plenty of money. Cost me 268 gold. That's not a problem, it gets me 100 prestige. So currently the Sultan of Yemen is Sultan Shaiban the Young, who's actually independent, interestingly. I'm fairly sure he wasn't independent when he started this. Oh no, he's the Sultan of the Hashimid Sultanate, which is one of his titles is Sultan of Yemen. Yes, okay. So that won't actually change the de facto thing. I'm just swiping a title from under his nose since he isn't really using it. So I can also then create the Duchy of Sana'a and give that to someone if I feel like it. But I think I need to understand my people first. Anyway, let us claim the Sultanate of Yemen. Which just gets an entirely new coat of arms, and I am now King Mašanñal the Bewitched of Yemen. And the Hashimid Sultanate is now only actually the Sultanate of Arabia. Still quite big, mind. I mean, his de jure territory is that lump there. His de facto territory is, of course, rather different. So that conveniently means he has no de jure claim on Yemen, but like that's going to be a problem given his I'm threatening. Barely. I was just thinking I should probably think about forming a defensive pact against the Hashimid Sultanate, but he has he doesn't even have 5% threat, so right. Messages. I've become King of Yemen, Baron. Oh yes, and I've also become all those other titles. Right. So my domain limit is 3, and my current domain size is 11. My vassal limit is quite generous, which says to me that I don't have any need to create duchies at this stage. But what I do need, because like even if I throw all of those 8 surplus things to 8 different vassals, I still won't be over my vassal limit. Oh, and yes, I managed to get her to convert, and therefore everything is happy. Plus, she's now on my council. It causes plenty of other trouble, but... So, let's see how I organise this realm then. So, the entertaining thing is that my de jure kingdom is in this direction, even though I actually hold lots of land that way. I was considering moving my capital to Yemen, to CK2, because that has the nice feature of being a bloody nuisance to attack. What's the tech situation like in Yemen? Apart from Majesty, better than we've got here. In Yemen in CK2, damn it. Because that's in my de jure territory, which is nice. Kind of. but it's also really hard to attack, and Verity has been demonstrating that can be quite nice. So yes, let's stick my capital on Socotra. Yes, good night. Occurs to me, of course, I've now got 2 monitors and one of them isn't being watched by anyone, so I can switch that to show me what's been going on in IRC for the last however long. I wonder if it's safe to flip to a screen that would show me that. So... yeah, go on, let's try it. Right, no one has said anything very interesting in IRC anyway. Settings. Well, this is probably too... reconfiguring monitor settings while the game is running is probably going to cause disaster, isn't it? Let's not try that. Right. So... oh, except I was going to check what time it is. It's 23:51. Right, I think I should leave myself the job of sorting out my vassals for the next session and say, hurrah, I am King of Yemen. I can't cancel my ambition. What? Okay, if I unpause, do I immediately get 500 prestige for becoming King of Yemen? Okay, that was silly. So it appears that it looks at where my capital currently is, and so by the virtue of the fact that I happened to have moved my capital to Yemen, namely to Socotra, my desire to become king of Abyssinia turned into a desire to become king of Yemen, which I already was, and therefore I immediately succeeded at it, and therefore I now need a new ambition. Well, I think it's worth nudging my marshal and my intrigue up. Yes, of course, the problem with my wife being Chancellor is that I don't get the bonus from her as my wife in the way that I do for would if she weren't my Chancellor. But, on the other hand, she's an excellent Chancellor. All the factions are currently dissolved. Oh, yes, but my inheritance law is elective, but now that my primary title is a bit bigger, I probably have, like, electors. Oh, maybe I don't. Oh, I should choose a successor then, shouldn't I? Except I don't get a vote. Okay, what? Who are the electors? Are there no electors? So, as Duke of Socotra, I have a successor, Prince Mašanñal Yemen, because I chose him. Because I am the only elector in the Duchy of Socotra, because there is only the Duchy, there is only the county. However, as King of Yemen, all of the counties in Yemen are held by me, aren't they, at the moment? Apart from Aden, right. So he is heir to the Kingdom of Yemen, but there's this slightly weird thing that there are apparently no electors at present. Because I've only just come into power, I don't have... Do I have a short reign penalty here as well then? No, good. upset by succession law change. The succession, or maybe that was an earlier one, given when it is. No, that's not the one caused by now inheriting the thing. Right. Oh well. Yes. So I think. Anywhere in danger of revolting. Yes, pretty much everywhere. Yes, anyway, I think at this point I save, which is 1062, and I have just become king, and have a rather glorious crown. So, save, yes, bing, right, that will be all for tonight. I shall